Welcome to the Baseball Together podcast with your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Briggy Blue Eyes. And now, Baseball Together.
Baseball family, welcome to this episode of the Baseball Together podcast. My name is Brad. I got our guy Brig with us. The Trident is up, which means the season is underway. And we are very excited about this. I don't know that excite does it even justice, Brig. Like, we're here. We cannot wait for things to just keep going because it's just fantastic. So how are you, Brig? How are you doing?
I am
now
well.
that the season is here.
Much more better than well. Better than I was last week by 7,000%.
7,000%.
If I had to quantify it, something that's just difficult to quantify. Move on. I'm done talking. Go ahead. Wait.
Okay. All right. Anyway, moving on. So today we're going to get into City Connects because we've already seen City Connect, like I guess you could say 2.0 rolling out the next round of City Connects. The Dodgers got theirs last season. We're going to not worry about that one because they have their first one. And then we've had, what was it? It was the Astros and the Nationals already have released theirs as of today's recording. But we're not going to talk about those. We're just talking about the first round of City Connects today. But before we get into that, we want to remind you about Chinook Seedery, the best seeds ever. Head over to ChinookSeedery.com. Use code BTPOD at checkout. Get yourself some sunflower seeds. Support your mouth. Support the show. All while supporting your wallet. You can have those anytime because they are legitimately the best seeds ever. I'm all about Hatch chili. Brig is all about, and then some, Parmesan and pepper.
Because it is the best.
But I will say this, as a guy who doesn't like ranch, jalapeno ranch is out of bounds. It's so good.
Very, very good.
I just got reloaded.
Good.
And I'm going to be digging into those jalapeno ranch because I'm very excited about them. I haven't had them in a while.
I got them right here.
I ate them all.
You did?
Before I was like the last batch that I had, I was trying so hard to like ration like my cinnamon toast and my Parmesan and pepper and Hatch chili that I was eating like the barbecue, the original, and the jalapeno ranch, and I buzzed through the jalapeno ranch because like these are good. I ate them in like a week. But holy cow, Brig's just, for those of you listening, Brig was raining sunflower seeds down in front of his camera.
Yeah, I just kept throwing them out of the box. I mean, this is the flavor. Parm and pep. For those of you watching, This is the one. And they sent me more than one packet of my favorite flavor. They sent all the other people's favorite flavors too, but I got a whole bunch of these.
I assumed you were only going to get boxes of Parmesan and pepper.
I looked to see. I was pleasantly surprised, but very surprised.
I was certain that they would send, but you got them all, so that's good. And that means the girls can have some too, because I know they like them.
I've already seen Chinook packets lying around, so I don't know when they got into them, but they got into them.
Of course. Again, that's ChinookSeedery.com. Use code BTPOD to save 10% off your order for the best seeds ever. Okay, let's get into City Connect. We're doing these in emoji tiers just like we do everything else because we thought this would be a better way to go through and kind of quantify these because going 1 through 30, that's not very fun. I'm going to be honest with you, Brig. Making it and going through it is not nearly as fun as having them in tiers. So again, emoji tiers, but here's the kicker. These are different emojis. We're using different emojis this time. We have
so
the
if you were
fire
watching
emoji.
And listening on Tuesday, they're not the same.
Yeah, they're not the same emojis. So the top tier is fire. The next one is the okay. And then the middle is just the straight-faced, just okay. Meh. And then the next to the bottom is a broken heart. Because to me, it's like they could have done better and they just didn't execute. And then the bottom is a trash can because that's where they belong. Okay?
Yep.
We will differ on these. Again, we do not collaborate on them. And I feel like we have different Brig and I actually, I'm not going to say feel it, we have very different fashion sense, despite the fact that we dress similarly on the show because we're wearing baseball-themed garb and for our team and our fans, whatever. But Brig and I have very different fashion sense, so you're gonna see what that's like with this. So, okay. Why don't you lead us off again, Brig? Just like you did with the emoji tiers.
Are we starting at the bottom or the top?
Whichever one you prefer. That's why I didn't specify.
Okay. I'm going to raise the black flag.
Okay. Fitting. Since those of you not watching, Briggs wearing his Pirates City Connect jersey.
Yes, I am. The following are absolute trash.
Okay.
Blue Jays, the Dodgers, the Cubbies, and the Rockies, especially with the green pants. Those, I think, are hot garbage. Just, blech. Anything that looks like pajamas, Cubs, Dodgers, Rockies, all had that problem. The Blue Jays narrowly avoided it. I still don't quite understand how. But I just don't, like, the details are too subtle. It doesn't pop. It doesn't even strike me as a terrific fashion piece for streetwear. Nope. The end.
Okay. So I can get behind a lot of those. Are you ready for my trash tier?
Send it. Oh, yeah.
The Dodgers, the Cubs, the Rockies, again, especially with the green pants. Do not like it one bit. Looking forward to what they do in round 2. The Brewers, the Red Sox, and the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks have such fantastic colors, and they tossed them all out the window for that nasty-looking sand uniform. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. The idea of the I'm not good at Spanish.
Serpientes. Yeah.
Serpientes. It's pretty good. I like that. It was cool. But
yeah,
let's draw in some of that Sedona red because that's an amazing color. Or at least the teal, because those are great colors that you can do a lot of things with. I expected more and more better from the Diamondbacks. The Brewers, legitimately to me, looks like some intern made their stuff on Canva. It's not creative. It's not quality. It's cheap. It looks like I guess it's fitting that it looks like a beer league uniform because the Brewers. But at the same time, though, I don't expect that at the big league level. And then the Red Sox, I know what it is. I know it's the Boston Marathon, but it doesn't look good. That's what it comes down to, is it just doesn't look good. The Dodgers are lazy, and the Cubs did not look good at all.
Yeah. I feel like the Dodgers and Cubs were arguably the laziest.
I think there are some that look good that are equally, if not more lazy.
Okay, that's fair.
Like the Cubs at least went Wrigleyville, right? Like they nodded to the city and the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
But it's still just the execution wasn't very good. It doesn't look good.
Yeah. All right, here are my heartbreak tiers, okay?
Okay.
You've got the Orioles and the Rangers are like firmly in the heartbreak tier. And then I've got a couple that are almost meh, but they still qualify as the heartbreak tier. That would be the Mets, the Reds, the Giants, and the Red Sox. Still brokenhearted, but not as brokenhearted as I was with the Orioles and the Rangers. Does that make sense? So just a little. So here's the deal. Orioles, boring. If I got to roll up the cuff to see the cool thing, go away. I don't have time for you. The Rangers one, so much potential. The color scheme is fabulous. I think they nailed it with the color scheme. And I think some of the emphasis and the attention that was put into the details made a lot of sense. The execution of that, not my favorite, but that's the only reason they're not in the dumpster fire tier, the trash tier, is because of the color scheme and some of the cool details. The Mets looks like a Yankees uniform from 100,000 years ago. The red, even though I did like the wool stitching, that was really cool. That got them the points that moved them up. The Reds, terrific for streetwear, terrible look on the field. The Giants, okay, I get it with the fog, but they get their points for me with white. Bright white is always going to win for me. It's a great way to go. But I think it was just boring, and it was just, they focused so much on one thing. And I think if you've been to San Francisco, there's so many more vibrant elements of the culture and of the city. You could have scooped up many more demographics of people, and you didn't. You just didn't even try.
You did the bridge in the fog.
The bridge in the fog, man. It's like, come on. There's so much history. There's so much culture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Red Sox fit here as well, and I really wanted to put them in the meh because it has grown on me, I will admit. So they have moved from that's terrible to heartbreak, and it's because of the baby blue. That baby blue hat is fabulous.
It's a UCLA hat. That's all it is.
Yeah, I know.
That's like one of my big things with it is that they could have done something else, and they just went and grabbed a UCLA hat off the shelf and said, "Here you go, guys. Here's your new Red Sox hat."
Well said. So that's my heartbreak.
Okay, my heartbreak goes to the Blue Jays, the Twins, the Cardinals, the Phillies, and sorry, Brig, but the Pirates belong here. And for no other reason than I wanted something else. And I think I said this when they released them, that they have one of, in my opinion, the coolest alternate logo in all of baseball. They could have leaned into that with the city, but they didn't touch anything to do with the team name. Right? Like it was all, and I know it's the City Connect. They're fashion pieces. They're supposed to connect with the city, but at the same time, you should draw on, like you should lean into your team still when you're doing this
a little bit. Yeah.
And they didn't do anything. They didn't do any of that. So that's my problem with the Pirates. And then the Blue Jays, you said it perfectly. Like it's kind of convoluted. Like on TV, it just looks like a black jersey. You don't see anything. There's not enough contrast to show the city skyline, which, by the way, looks really cool when you can see it.
Yeah,
but you can't see it if you're not looking at just like a close-up photo of it. The Cardinals, initially, I probably would have put it in the trash tier because I thought it was kind of lazy at first, but the Lou has grown on me. And you give me a few more months, and I might put it up even above the meh tier, like above into like the okay, like A-okay tier, because it looks cool. The Lou looks cool with the birds and the birds on the bats and everything. The fact they're going with actually a red jersey. I love alternate color jerseys.
Yeah.
But it's working its way up is what it is. So it's here for now. It won't be later, but this is where it is today. And then the Phillies, I wanted, again, heartbreak because I thought they could have done something else. I thought that the font was a little confusing, the color scheme. But for somebody who's never even been to Philadelphia, that's how that feels to me.
Fair.
So, and then I still love. I'm not crazy about what the Twins did.
Yeah.
I wanted more purple.
Well, we all need purple. We all need more purple.
I assumed that was a slam dunk. The purple.
Yep. You'd think.
But it was all water.
Yeah, water in the city flag.
And I will say one more thing about the Twins. Their hat with the 10,000 Lakes thing on the side, another gas station hat.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Gas station. Yeah. All right. Okay.
You're buying that at a gas station on your way out of St. Paul.
My meh includes, this is where the Cardinals fit, the Brewers fit here, the Royals fit here, the Twins fit here, and I'm going to go ahead and put the Tigers here as well, okay? Here's the deal. The Lou also growing on me. Bright red, love it. Was it enough of a departure from the OG? No. Otherwise, maybe it had got more points. The hat, it loses almost all of its collective points because the STL cap. I can't express how bad it is. It just doesn't. I really do want to vomit when I see it. The Brew Crew, same thing. I can't do the hat. It doesn't do it for me. It's not as vomit-inducing as the Cardinals. But the fact that it is a beer league Canva-produced design doesn't offend me like it offends you. Okay?
It does offend me.
But it's boring, so it's not offensive, but it's not special at all. So that's why it fits in the meh. And that baby blue is great. Everybody's doing powder blue. Everybody's doing baby blue uniforms. So this was their way to jump on the wagon and keep that going. And they do that anyway. So it was awesome. I thought that was a great decision, that one color. The Royals was just boring. I know when I predicted this, I called the fountains, and they went with fountains, and I was really excited about that. But that's it. And otherwise, it was just like, once I got done riding that I told you so high, I didn't care anymore. So it is actually stuck in meh, falling to heartbreak the longer things go. It's on its way down for sure. The Tigers, this was a tough one. The Tigers cap also loses almost all of its points. It just says Detroit on top. Is bad. It looks like the high school who's like Detroit Central or whatever, and their baseball team's booster club put that together. They were like, we need travel money. So that's what they sold with the brownies at the booster fair. Now, the tire tread on the front is pretty sweet. I think that's innovative. I think they were reaching. They were trying to be bold. Bold is my thing on these. Good for you, right? Did it land all the way? No. But is it just there? Yeah. So I can't take it all the way down. It's stuck in meh. That's how my meh is.
Okay. This is my meh tier.
Okay.
I also have the Tigers in the meh. I have the Mets, Orioles, this is where I put the Rangers, and the Giants. Okay. And full disclosure, Brig, I've been moving stuff around as we've been talking. Like, I'm looking at this like, no, this belongs here, this belongs here. Like, I've been moving stuff as we've been talking. This is a fluid list. I'm telling you, like, things are going to adjust as we go. So, I want to start with the Tigers because with its individual pieces, it's weird. The Detroit hat, like you said, it doesn't look like a big league hat. It's another gas station hat. Yeah. You're buying that in the middle of Michigan somewhere for whatever reason. I don't know why it's there, but it's there, and you're buying it at a gas station because you need something to cover your head on a sunny day because you're bald like me. Anyway, the Mets. So the Mets jerseys. For me, it would probably normally belong in the heartbreak tier, but the saving grace is those helmets. I thought the helmets looked really cool. The matte gray with the bridge on it was super cool. That's the one thing that got it into the meh tier for me.
Yeah, but I can't buy that.
I can't go buy it. That's a problem. I guess it's not a problem. Where are you gonna wear a helmet? What are you gonna wear a helmet for? What are you gonna do with that?
You don't. Brad.
If you do, it's a display piece, and that's the end of it. But the helmets I thought looked really cool. I remember when we first saw them on the field, I was like, why didn't they show us this? This is amazing. And I don't know why they don't show us the helmets, because sometimes the helmets are cooler than the hats.
Agreed.
But anyway, I liked but didn't love the jerseys. They look very old-timey, like they're old jerseys that have been faded, which I kind of like, but at the same time, like, okay. The Orioles, I didn't like it at first. I thought it was a little odd, but the more I look at it, it's just clean. That black jersey with white pants with a tiny little pop of color here and there, I like it. It looks good. If I was at an Orioles game, I might buy that to wear it, and so I could mix and mingle with the locals.
Sure,
I'd consider it. The Rangers just didn't do enough for me. There were some really interesting nuances, little idiosyncrasies to go along with it that were about this big. For those of you not watching, I'm holding my fingers about this far apart.
Way to go, Brad.
Not very far.
For those of you who cannot visualize how far apart this is, it's this far apart, Brad.
It's this far. That's right. They know. They know.
They know.
But, like, there could have been some minor changes that would have moved that up to the A-OK tier, I feel like.
Yep,
That
I agree.
would have been really great. And the Giants, like you said, they didn't do enough to draw in the entire city, but man, those are clean uniforms. You look at them on the field too, like those are crisp.
They're pretty crisp, yeah.
Different shade of orange looks really, really good with the white and then the foggy color of the orange on the jersey. Looks really sharp on TV. And that was what sold me over from like trash, I feel like, up to the meh tier. I would love to see their next version drawing the city a whole lot more and have a little bit more to it, but still at the same time try to have that minimalistic look, because that's really what it was. It's pretty minimalistic and it looked really crisp. So that's why I like the Giants.
Okay.
But not enough to move them up. They're still meh.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with your agreement of yourself. Okay. All right. My A-OK, my nice. These are nice. These are fine. It's okay. You can call it whatever you want. I don't have major issues with these, but they don't get me all hot and bothered either. Okay? So this is where Cleveland's uniform comes in. The cap doesn't do it for me. It's going to lose points there. The inlay design, the sort of filigree that's going on inside the watermark, fabulous. That's fabulous. And they're so clean, that red, white, and blue with the stripe, the big stripes, love it. Okay? So it just, I wouldn't wear it around. That's the biggest problem. But if I was a Cleveland fan, I'd wear it all over town. But it's not loud enough for me as an out-of-market fan to be like, boom, that's the one. It's exactly the one, right? Okay. The Mariners, this is where the Mariners fit for me. I am against royal blue and black. I've been against royal blue and black forever. I still am. And yet it works. I don't understand. It doesn't work well, but it works. And so, okay, you get an okay. All right, let's move on. But the symbols and the pilot's typeface or font or whatever we're calling it, it's fantastic. All the nuanced meanings, I think they nailed a lot of that. That's great. Now, let me talk about the Phillies. Okay, the Phillies, I put them in the nice category. I think the font they used across the chest is fantastic. They nailed that calligraphy, Declaration of Independence signing, whatever you want to call it. They nailed it. Do I love the color scheme? No. Well, I think it's fine. I think it looks good. Is it as representative of the city as I would think? No. I think if they had done the exact same thing with a different color scheme, people would have lost their marbles. So that's the only thing that misses for me on that is the color scheme. Otherwise, I think they're pretty slick. Honestly,
I thought
the
real
OG
quick with the Phillies, real quick, the one thing that I think that would have flipped it for me entirely was that you're leaning so heavily into the American Revolution and Declaration of Independence, but you're not going with red, white, and blue.
Right. Yeah.
Like, to me, that would have changed the whole thing. But
well, and
anyway,
if you're gonna do red, white, and blue, I want it all faded. I want it all muted. Because what I needed you to do was give me something close to a deep maroon color. So if you can't give me a purpley maroon the way they wear it in their retros and historically, then put a little more red in it, like a faded flag stripe. Give me that white, but fade it to cream. You know what I mean? Give me that blue, but bring it all the way down. If that would have been the way to do red, white, and blue, keep almost everything else with this Phillies uniform.
I think that would have changed my entire opinion of that line.
Totally. Yeah, and make it old. Make it look old, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The D-backs fit right in here for me. They should have gone with black pants. That's the dumbest thing in the world. Why they went with pajama pants? If they had changed it to black pants, and if they had put a black cap with the tan visor, everybody's opinion would be different. Everybody. It would have been an immediate change of opinion. And if you take the color number that's in that red right now and you make it Sedona red, done. Now it's rocket fire. That's all you got to do. Okay?
So, real quick, the visor, you mentioned this. You want to know something I learned this weekend when I was scrolling Instagram?
What did you learn?
When you're putting together a uniform, technically the proper way to do this, the visor matches the belt, matches the socks.
Right.
That's the right way to do this. Okay. And so, I think you're spot on.
Not everybody does that. Okay. All right.
They don't. More teams need to do it. But anyway.
Listen, the Astros OG goes here. I hate the number on the hip. And I don't know why. I want to love it. But the more I've come to look at it and look at the uniform, it just bugs me. The Tequila Sunrise socks are amazing. Even the blue pants I don't hate, but you have to wear them as knickers. If you wear them all the way down, they look like absolute garbage hospital scrubs. Then that cap with the H on the top is not my favorite, but Space City in that sci-fi font, killer across the front, right? Killer. So there's a lot of good to love about the Astros uniform and some really bad choices that lose its points. Now, this is my last one. This is where Pittsburgh's goes. It is A-okay. It is really good. I love many things about it, specifically that it is bold. I would have preferred a couple of different changes. I wanted to see pillbox stripes, like the pillbox caps from the 70s, across the sleeves maybe would have been cool, or a 3-stripe down the sleeve from the neck all the way down, and the sleeve and then the sides, kind of the way Cleveland did it. That would have been interesting. But I agree with you. Why not lean further into some other motifs rather than just the color of the bridge, which I agree is fantastic. But it's just almost absolutely fabulous. But it's still really good.
Cool. Okay. My A-okay, my noise tier, includes the Rays, Reds, Angels, Astros, and Cleveland's baseball club. So I'm going to go in that order. I'm going to start with Cleveland because it is super duper clean.
Yeah.
That is the big takeaway. It is clean. In fact, Brig, that hat is so crisp and so clean that when I was at a baseball game in Goodyear just last week, I stood for a solid 5 minutes in front of the hats and debated buying one.
Wow.
Like, I was seriously considering buying one. I'm wearing Mariners gear head to toe. And I'm standing there like, that hat looks so good. I might just need to buy it. And my mom's shopping around everywhere. And finally she's like, you going to buy it or are we going to go? I was like, let's go. I'm just not going to wear it that much. Because the same thing is, it's really great, but it is not the fire hat that I want to add to my collection, and not being a Cleveland fan. So
exactly.
That's really what it comes down to, is everything was really great, but it just didn't take that step to get over the top.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go with the Rays. The Rays, the whole skateboarding thing, to me, as a kid who grew up wanting to skateboard but was afraid of pavement, but still played Tony Hawk until my fingers bled, that speaks to me, right? Like, snowboarding kid, because you don't get the same road rash that you get from pavement. Like, extreme sports speak to me, and I love that they went there with the Rays on all that stuff. I think it looks great. I think it's cool. We all had the faded black t-shirt. I think they should have gone with the pants. Like, if they had gone like a denim print on the pants, oh man, that would have been crazy.
That would have been bold.
Instead of faded sweatpants, I think the denim would have been really cool. The Reds. Okay, the Reds. I am a big fan. My favorite color combination, Brig, is red and black. I don't know if it's because I'm a Trailblazers fan or what, but I love red and black because black always makes red pop. And so I love the Reds colors, and I love that they leaned heavily into red and black because I think they're the only big league team that is red and black every day. I think is what they said when they released this.
Yeah.
So I love the way that the jersey looks. Like you said, it's tough on TV because it's tough to see. But having seen it in person up close, it looks really, really great in person. Looks really good. But my big thing that keeps it from going into the fire tier is the hat. Love the hat. Love the C design. Love everything about the hat except for the faux rope across the front. That is where you lose me. I was going to buy one of those hats, Brig. I was legitimately planning on buying a Cincinnati Reds City Connect hat until I saw that, and I was like, can't do it. Looks too much like a rope across the visor. It's not my style. My son got a hat with a rope across the visor just last week when we were at a game. I was like, you don't want that, do you? He's like, I do. I think it looks really cool. I was like, I'm glad you have your own opinions. That's great.
All right, man.
Very happy for you.
Yeah.
But man, yikes. So, the Astros, there's a lot that looks really good. The color scheme, those, like I said, Tequila Sunrise socks, it's where it's at. I love them. They're so cool. The font, the colors, like a lot of it is really good. But again, there are certain aspects, like you talked about the number on the hip, can't get behind it. Just can't get behind it. And it just takes it down just enough for me to put it in this tier instead of the fire. And then the Angels, man, I'm going to hold off on them because they just moved up.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, go ahead with your fire tier.
All right. Now, before we go on to the fire tier, I got 3 that fall on the bubble between this is great and this is fire. Okay. My 3 that fall on the bubble are the Rays, the Braves, and the Angels. Okay. Let's start with the Rays. Everything you said, I agree with. That hat sucks. It sucks. I hate everything about it. And then the uniform, the jersey top, the only thing that it needs is just a little bit more of that neon green, that vibrant neon. And you could do it with the blues as well. That's fine. But it just doesn't quite pop for me like I need it to. And I get the faded thing, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I would buy one. I would wear one. But it's not Rocket Fire. Okay, the Braves, same thing. So cool. So clean. The fact that they put the next to the A, you lost me. I don't know why. I know it's petty. It just looks like a mistake to me. It looks like a design error, and I can't handle, maybe it's the imbalance, I don't know, but I can't do it. Everything else about that uniform is fantastic. It's fantastic. The Angels, it's the hat. If it weren't for that stupid hat, everything else would be great. And the cream, sold. The big stripe on one side of the sleeve, one sleeve, sold. The diamond holding the number, sold. The big flowy script across the front with the big huge tail under it, sold. Everything about that is fabulous, but the hat sucks. It's that bad. They could have done, short of spelling out Anaheim across the front, this was the next worst decision they could have made. And I'm still offended. Okay? So those are the 3 that fall on the bubble for me. And I wanted to love them, but I just couldn't. Now, you ready for the ones that I think are absolute rocket fire?
I am ready.
Okay. The Padres uniform is rocket fire. It is bold. It is spectacular. It is inclusive of the culture it is trying to represent. I have seen more Padres uniforms on the street during like B-roll shots during games than I have any other team represented in any other game I've watched. When you watch Padres games and they cut to the street side, you're going to see that uniform. You do not have that same experience with any of the other ballparks. Not quite like that. So they have they have nailed it. They got exactly what they wanted, and that teal, that green, extra bright teal color is everything. And the pink balances perfectly. Nailed it. They nailed it, and I love it. I would buy and wear that teal San Diego hat all day long. Okay. The Marlins, I don't know if it's because it's the first one we got and I'm still stuck on how awesome it is. I don't know if it's how much thought went into the symbols that it is representing. I don't know if it's the culture that I just love and that's why. I don't know. But the big wide space between those pinstripes is fantastic. Those two the coral colors that they got, the red and the blue coral colors, man, they look good together. They didn't blow it by putting it on a colored pant. They kept the pants white, and it is money. It's absolute money. But I got to be honest, I don't know how you can beat the Chicago White Sox City Connect uniform. I don't know. I don't know if you could more perfectly represent like everything you're trying to. It's bold. It is. They're God. They're grungy and they're mean and they're all of the things. They're all of the things, right? They're the bad boys of Chicago. Between the Cubs that are friendly, and the White Sox that are kind of grungy as their reputations.
The Black Sox history.
Exactly, like everything about it is so perfect. It's perfect. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna go through mine pretty quick. So okay. I'm gonna go in my fire. No, you're good. In my fire, I have the Mariners, Braves, Padres, Royals, Nats, White Sox, Marlins, and Angels. I'm surprised that I had this many up there, to be completely honest with you.
What?
Yeah, I love the Angels. So it's simple, it's pretty basic, but it is clean, and everything about it, to me, is perfect for Southern California. Because the cream goes so well with, like, the t-shirt that you would wear to the beach every time you go to surf. I know I didn't grow up in, like, a surfing community, but we did spend a lot of time on the beach. We boogie boarded a lot, so I kind of get some of that, right? Like, I understand some of that. But it's, and I know surfers don't come after me, though. It's fine. It's different. I know. But anyway, it's different. It's cooler.
I'm holding my breath for you. Did you say it's cooler? Oh, man.
No, surfing is cooler. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I've never been assaulted by a boogie board, so, I probably agree with you.
No, every time I go way cooler.
Surfing,
I'm going to agree with everybody on that.
I have to file a police report every time I try to surf.
But anyway, so that red is just enough off the regular red that it feels just a little bit sun faded to go with the cream. And I love that hat so much. Oh. Like, next time I go to Angel Stadium, I'm buying. That's what I'm buying. Because I make it a point to try to buy a hat every time I go to a new stadium. That's the one I'm buying next time we go.
Oh, that.
I love the red, the white front.
Yeah, I love that.
And the A is the A with the halo is just different enough, and the font, Brig, that font, they nailed it. Looks so good on the front. Okay, Marlins, everything you said, the color scheme, the logos, the execution of the pinstripes, even the spacing on the pinstripes. Brig, when we're in Miami next year, don't let me leave that city without either buying a hat or a jersey. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to buy one of them while we're there. Because I'm going to have to. The White Sox, again, everything you said, nailed it. Because the White Sox feel like the counterculture to, like you said, the Cubs. Yep. And kind of the rest of baseball. I don't know what it is. Right. But it's like, we're going to do pinstripes, but they're going to be inverted. And if you've ever seen one of these White Sox City Connects in person, they look way better in person than they look on TV. And they look fantastic on TV, by the way.
That's exactly right.
So the Nats, their first edition, so cool. I love the gray wool look. I love everything with the cherry blossoms on the side of the hat, on the helmet. It all looks so good. I am upset that they got rid of them. I understand, though, you got to come around to 2.0. But the thing is they didn't deviate too far from it. They still have the cherry blossoms. They didn't change up the color too much, right? So it's almost like they realized they had a good thing going.
What are you talking about?
The new Nets. They're 2.0.
Yeah,
They released them like the other day.
It's blue.
That's what I said. Yeah, the blue and gray. Like they didn't deviate too far. It's not like they went gray to red. It's a brighter blue. They moved on the colors on the spectrum, right?
I see.
But they didn't go to the opposite end, is what I'm saying. Like they went from gray to blue. To me, that's not that big of a movement.
Okay.
And I'm not colorblind. So
no, you're not.
I loved everything about the Nats. I love what they did. The Royals, Brig. I was out watching a Royals game during spring training. I looked all over that entire stadium because I was like, I need one of those City Connect hats. They did not have one. And I wanted one so bad. I was ready to drop some money down because the other stadiums have them and they didn't have them. I love that. To me, that alone puts it in the fire because I love that hat more than pretty much all of them. Although the jersey does look good. The color is nice. It's a nice change from the regular royal blue to something a little bit more modern. But I think it's good. Yeah. And I like that they don't do it every day. The Padres, talk about I saw more Padres City Connect uniforms or jerseys than I have seen any in the Cactus League. Any other team wearing City Connects. Everybody wears the Padres City Connect because they are killer. They look so good. And then let's see here, Braves. I love it. I love that it says the A. That's awesome. I love the retro look with the modern A instead of the lowercase. I think it's cool. I think that they nailed it. I love the old school look with the blue and the white on the hat and the helmet. Everything about it.
Yeah.
Yep. The scoops look super cool. It's a really great design. And then the Mariners, you're looking at it right here, baby. I got the hat, I got the jersey. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't have bought both of them. And the thing that's funny is at first I saw like the Seattle Pilots font, and I was like, my initial impression was, why are you pulling on the Pilots when that's the Brewers? The Mariners have nothing to do with the Pilots other than the fact they're both Seattle. But then the more I sat and looked at it, I was like, that's really sharp. Looks really good. You put the hat with it, that looks great. Oh, those black pants. I don't know. But black and blue looks really, really good. I love black and blue. Like, specifically royal. If you were to go navy, like this shade, this deeper royal blue, looks great with black. If you were to go navy, you'd have lost me. But I like that they went with this shade of blue with the black. Yeah. And it all comes together so nicely because to me this is this royal blue is a modernized version of what they had in the early 90s and late 80s.
Yeah.
Or I guess the 80s and the early 90s, because it's more vibrant, it's brighter, it's not going to fade, it pops on TV better than what they had before. I love the color scheme so much. And the yellow, and I know I say all the time I have an aversion to the color yellow, but it's outweighed enough with the black and blue that to me it's fine, it's good. And if you can get me to buy in on that yellow, then you've won. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So
ranch and yellow.
That's right. Yep. But I don't know, man, like I know I'm super biased, but it's my favorite City Connect. I love it. They teased it last year with that they were going to wear white pants with black piping down the side, but it never happened, and I hope it happens this year because it looked really cool. Instead of the black pants, white with black piping looked so cool. So we'll see what happens, but I think it would look really sharp.
Who knows?
The black still looks so good.
It's definitely got that, like, Seattle, we do whatever we want. It's going to be our way. Don't tell me what to do kind of a thing. Like, unless you're a part of this culture, you don't get to tell us what to do because you don't get it. Like, that's how Seattle feels to me at a certain point. And that's
the Pacific
black
Northwest.
And blue.
It's the whole Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yes, absolutely. If you're not from here or living here or experience it every day, you don't get to say. It's just the way it goes. So, but yeah, no, I love it, all about it. But baseball family, let us know what you think about the City Connects. We're through the 1.0, the first edition of the City Connect. We've already got some 2.0s, and we're going to talk about those coming up on episodes soon, because we have the entire list of teams that are going to be getting them this year, and it's coming up. Like, before you know it, your team's going to have a second City Connect. And I know a lot of people are like, well, it's just an excuse to get me to spend more money. Yes, it is.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly
and on
what
that
it is.
note, let me say one of the things that I've noticed, and you better be careful, because I'm looking like I'm on New Era right now, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I do want that hat or whatever. Some of them are selling out or are already sold out. Like that Nationals cap, the gray one, I don't think you're going to be able to buy it anymore very soon. Very, very soon.
It's hard to find. I thought about buying a Royals hat online, and I couldn't find it my size.
Yep.
So I think they're going to start phasing them out.
And part of what they're going to do with this 2.0 is create scarcity. So now people will rush and buy the 1.0s, thinking, oh no, what's going to happen when 2.0 comes out? And then if you like 2.0, they'll get you twice.
Yep.
So stay vigilant.
Exactly right. Well, and don't assume. So the thing that goes along with that is don't assume that the 1.0 is going to be available if you don't like 2.0.
Exactly.
Because it'll probably be gone.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, let us know what you think. Let us know what your favorites are, the ones you think are absolute trash. I feel like it's a polarizing line. All of it is polarizing because most people either love them or hate them. It's not quite as nuanced with what we have with like meh, right?
Yeah.
That a lot of people have let their feelings know that they don't like it, or that they hate what's there, or that they absolutely love it and they don't care what anybody thinks. Let us know what you think. Jump down in the comments or shoot us an email, baseballtogetherpod@gmail.com. And baseball family, with that, we will catch you next week.